Hi guys, how's everybody doing? It's Leah here. I'm back with the benefits of education, and today I'm here to talk to organizations that offer placements to um, young people or anyone that is looking to gain experience. Now, the reason why I've decided to talk to you organization is because many are complaining that you're taking advantage of them rather than offering them placements. Remember, they're there to learn new skills, to gain experience on how they can be, to give them a first to lead their way or help them understand what they need in order to take on the career they are looking to get to, or basically if they're looking to get to start a business, whatever they're starting or whatever they're aiming to get into, they're looking for experience to be able to do that. But when they come into organizations, they're being used as maids. What do I mean? Individuals who work in organizations to gain experience should be able to take on duties like everyone else in the organization so that they know how to to do it or how it's done. For example, if someone wants to learn how project management works or how to manage a project from A to Z, they won't be able to learn if when they come to you, you just tell them to make teas, to open envelopes, to do just petty things that are nothing to do with what they've come to learn. And at the end of the day, you said, you know what, I've offered you a chance to come into my organization and learn. That is not learning. They're not learning, and in fact, you're wasting their time. I know at the moment they don't have experience, but probably they can even do the job better than the ones that you have if at all they're given a chance to gain experience. Reason why I've decided to literally talk about it. So many young people or individuals that are coming to me, looking for help, or what they can do to get a job, or how hard it is for someone to actually be in a job that they studied. The first question that I ask them, what have you done, or what experience do you have within the field that you want to get into? Now, most of these ones, or some of them, or majority, will tell you, during my time in school, I went for a placement, or at some point in their life, they've done a placement. Usually, these placements are free. And they've done a placement, so you expect them to have some kind of experience within the field, but they have none. Reason being, when they went to do a placement, organizations gave them things that are nothing to do with what they're there to learn. One most thing that I hate, in fact, I've worked in many organizations. In my life, I've always been working, and most of the organizations that I've worked in, that I won't even mention names, when people popped up or turned up for work experience, literally, one thing that I hate, they treat them as strangers. Everybody looks at them as if they're, they know nothing, they shouldn't be there. They treat them as if they're cleaners, or as if they're nobody, basically. And then because the manager feels bad that these people came in, because of their authority, or because they allow them to come in, so they try and fish little things around to give them to do, which is not giving them experience. If you know that you're taking someone in to learn about something, or to learn how things work, then create a plan. Have a plan in place. Have someone ready to train them. Have someone ready to supervise them. Give them a chance to actually take on these responsibilities. I know that there's a law that you cannot let them do the work because they're not paid, and you cannot let them, you can't take advantage and give them all your work so that they can do it for you and put your feet up. But now and then, they need a chance to actually physically do the thing themselves. Sit there and supervise them. I know it is very risky, or it is very dangerous for an organization to trust somebody who's just trying to gain experience, to fully give them responsibilities and assume that they will carry on. I understand that there is a it is very dangerous for an organization, but what I'm saying, have somebody available to supervise them on the day you've trusted them, on the day you've given them a chance to actually carry out the job themselves. Other than that, prepare someone to teach them. If you know that you're not going to train these people, or you're not going to give them experience they need, do not take them on. If you, why do you take them as, okay, in fact, one of the young girls, she did a placement in an organization which I won't mention, and all she did, literally, is to sit on the reception and wait for people who are turning up for interviews to be, to take them where they're going to be interviewed. Now, imagine the pain of somebody who's looking for a job, somebody who's trying to get experience in, like, for example, maybe managing, or maybe administrate something, or basically do some job. All they do is sit at the reception. Even some, you don't need to spend time or to go into a place to learn how to take someone up. So basically that's a waste of time. I understand that because of the risk that is involved in letting people taking on this responsibility, that there could be, I understand the volume or how big it is or how risky it is, but all I'm asking, do not take advantage of these people. They're not to be used that way. And I'm not saying that people who come into organization to take on placement shouldn't be able to do these smaller responsibilities or do smaller tasks on top of what they're learning. That is not what I'm saying. In fact, that is good, because they know that within a workplace that you have a duty that you're assigned to, but you can also help others when you're free, or things that you can help, or just general things. I'm not saying that making tea is wrong at work when it comes to individuals that are in placement, but you know what? Once someone is learning or someone is doing what they came to do, you find that things like making tea is nothing, It's a normal thing, but you cannot tell me someone is there. So this young girl, all she did was sit on the reception, take people up, and then the managers would justify that she's networking with other people, she's understanding how the environment works. Okay, I understand that people need to know how the work environment is, but you cannot tell me that I'm going to spend 6 months, I'm going to spend 3 months learning how you've set up your offices, or understanding how managers come in, or how things work within there. They're there to learn something they're interested in, or they give them a reason to say thank you. Okay, I know probably that most of you will say, you know what, you don't have to say thank you. What I'm saying, do not use these people. Do not take advantage of the fact that they don't have experience. Do not, they're not maids, they're not cleaners, or they're not people to switch on and turn on and off computers. No. Now, this other girl, she said she spent 2 weeks within an organization trying to do an experience, to gain experience. And all she did, they had like a backlog of envelopes that needed to be opened. This is somebody who graduated in project management, and now they've gone to do a placement, and all they're doing is opening envelopes every day. I mean, come on. Someone does not need to take on a whole 6 months to learn how to open envelopes. That's not what they're there for. Imagine if that's your son, and you want them to be, project manager for, let's say, Lloyd's, or project manager for whatever company that is, but they've requested them to gain experience somewhere else, and an organization gives them or takes them on, waste their time, and say, I'm going to give you experience, and all they do, they're opening envelopes. I am appreciating the fact that organizations are taking on people for placement, those that are anyway. But I don't agree with the fact that these individuals don't learn anything. Many of them that I spoke to, or many of them even personally, I've seen them. Because even though I run my own businesses, I also work. I'm employed, and I've also been through lots of different organizations, worked for different organizations, and I've seen how placement students are treated. And that's not how they should be. Now, then probably I didn't say anything because I was not in position to say anything, but it doesn't mean that I didn't see or I don't understand. All I'm requesting that when people go or come for placement, at least say that, you know what, you will spend 2 of your 5 days or 3 of your 5 days working on that which you came to learn, and the other 2 days just use it to learn things around you, how offices work, socialize with everybody, network, know different departments. You never know, a job could pop up somewhere. But you know what, that's not the case. In fact, they will say, you know what, it's good to socialize. It's very important to socialize. So go ahead, walk around. This is just wasting time, guys. This is wasting time. At the end of the day, if someone is not social, they will not learn socializing by coming into placements. No. If somebody is going to, is looking for a job to learn how to inject somebody, give them a chance to see you do it, and then at least once or twice, let them try. Let them try. I know I've used such an example that many will probably come back and say, no, would you want to be tried, blah, blah, blah. I've had students at some point treat me, whether dental, whatever, I've had. But these are students that are getting paid, obviously, but it doesn't take away the fact that they're also learning. So what I'm saying, organizations, stop misusing people. Stop taking advantage of those that don't have experience. In fact, you know what? Many of those organizations that take on these people, they don't even have the confidence of employing them after experience or after completing their experience. Why? Because they've not given them any quality work. They've not taught them anything. All they've been telling them to do, open envelope, make cup of tea, or sit at the reception now and then. Sitting at reception is not bad for someone who came to learn admin work, or someone who's looking for a receptionist job, or someone, that's okay. But I'm talking about individuals who have walked in and said, I want to be a human resources director, not director obviously, a human resources manager or something, and they're not given a chance to be so, and you're thinking you're giving them experience. No, you're not. This is why in my organization, in my charity, individuals, if you say, I want to be a project manager, you actually grab a project and manage it until the end, until somebody grabs you and gives you a job, or until you decide to leave. But you get experience of actually doing these things yourself. That's what my charity does. If you say that I'm going to learn how they run a charity, there you go, run it. Let's see. Obviously, I'm going to be supervising them. I'm going to be looking at what they're doing to make sure that I minimize the risk, because there's always risks. Even normal employees that we have, they all have risks. Okay, let me not go so much, because I have a lot to say about work experience, especially when people take time out to do a placement with an organization and they come out and they have no experience. Because the whole point they went to get to, they try to go and look for placement or try to do a placement is to gain experience. But you yourself, an organization, you can't even employ them because you know they're not good enough. And why did you take them in the first place? And to make it even worse, people who go to placement nowadays, they also have to go through like a recruitment kind of procedure to find out who can get it, because it's not that easy that anyone can. But even after going through that, you sit there and do nothing. Guys, if you think this should be like this, okay, if you have any opinions on this, get back to me. But I think this needs to be changed. If you know you're capable, or if you know that you've taken on someone or someone for placement, and you know that you have a position they're looking for, placement-wise, give them a chance to take on the responsibilities, carry out the duties themselves, so that they can be able to offer that experience to another company, so that organizations can offer them jobs. But now they're struggling to find a job. They're struggling to be, employed by anybody, because they're saying you don't have experience. Where are they going to get experience if you who's pretending offering experience, you're not actually letting them do the job. How are they going to do it? I mean, this is all I have today. If you have anything that you could feedback to me regarding this, or if you've gone through the same thing, please send me a message. I'll be able to read this out, because it's been more than there's been a number of people that are going through the same thing. I've personally seen it. I know that people are saying this to me now, but I have personally seen it. Organization treat work placement students like strangers, but it should not be that way. They should be treated like normal employees. They should feel comfortable, you know. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope this message will reach to the right people that need to, and for students, and I hope you'll be able to find a job or a placement that will help you. Thank you.